under their skin and is feeling much better to hear that Abby tossed him out. Tessa says he needed to set things straight. Mariah fights, it's all untruths. Ian is looking for trouble and it's bad. In the sewer, Sharon hears somebody calling out to her. Scratch shows up and she says she realized he would come. He guarantees her she will be all right and breaks the chains with his exposed hands. Then, at that point, he vanishes immediately and inexplicably. Sharon calls, Scratch? Scratch? She understands that Scratch wasn't genuine and the medications should in any case be in her framework. At Society, Summer says thanks to Opportunity for welcoming her to meet him. Chance figures they ought to get it done again sometime. She concurs. Scratch comes in searching for news on Sharon. Chance says there's no new data, yet his folks are working non-stop. Chance settles on a decision there's still no update. Summer inquires as to whether her father is certain Sharon didn't run. Scratch says she had not an obvious explanation to do that. She was on target and anticipating finding solutions. Summer glares, no part of this checks out. Chance concurs. Finding Sharon's vehicle in the waterway with the entryways and windows shut, it's all similar to she got out before it went in. Scratch inquires, imagine a scenario where Sharon was never in the vehicle in any case. Jordan opens the entryway of the inn to Ian and asks where on earth he's been. She dumps his espresso in the plant and requests replies. Ian could do without her tone. Jordan could do without him escaping without a word. He was taking care of their business. She inquires, our own or yours? She directs out he's driven their foes toward their entryway and are a long way from achieving what they set off on a mission to do. All in all, Ian, what on God's green earth is going on? Jordan brings up Scratch Newman took steps to kill him, is that piece of the arrangement? Ian told the police the Newmans have it in for him, a pastor. Jordan learns he went to Society to develop his association with Tessa. Abby threw him out, however he figured out how to persuade Tessa he's fairly liable for her prosperity. He needs Awesome for her, Mariah, and Arya, and for Jordan too. Jordan has glaring doubts. Ian is certain once he gets back on the up and up with the young ladies, there will be a make way to Claire. Jordan fumes that he's finished nothing for her. She's burnt out on him advising her to have persistence. She won't get cheated. From here onward, she'll assume control over her own plan. I'm ending this organization tout de suite. More, Ian Ward whodunit ahead. In the Jazz Relax, Chelsea lets Victoria know that this wasn't Adam's shortcoming. They committed this error together. She asks her not to slam him. Victoria says there's no judgment, astounding Chelsea. Victoria says she dislikes Adam, however he's moved forward and has been a decent dad to Connor, who is a youngster in emergency. It checks out they would have drawn nearer, and nobody wouldn't believe assuming they reunited. Chelsea tells her Victor likewise referenced that to her. Out of nowhere, he's cheerleading the reason. Victor grins, no tension or anything. She thinks he sees what she does, she and Adam are better together for Connor. Chelsea says they're not her and Cole. They were given a wonder and fell back in adoration. She's glad for her, yet given their set of experiences, it would be a horrendous thought for herself and Adam to reunite. She concedes Adam maintains that her should move into the farm, yet she let him know it would be a sentiment-free zone. Victoria doesn't think her moving in would be the most horrendously awful thought. At Society, Scratch tells Summer and Chance that Sharon could never had opportunity and energy to escape the vehicle after it went in the waterway. Another person probably put it there. Scratch tells Chance that Sharon was focused on and outlined. Consider the possibility that similar individual who polluted her medications likewise killed Heather. Chance considers this to be a leap of faith. Summer surmises the individual passed on Sharon to accept all negative consequences. Chance inquires as to whether Scratch is recommending that a similar individual put her vehicle in the stream. Is this piece of his entire Ian hypothesis? Scratch doesn't figure the timing could be an occurrence. It's conceivable it is, yet his stomach is telling him in any case. In the sewer, Sharon keeps on hearing Scratch's voice advising her to hang on. he'll track down her and bring her home. In the inn, Ian tells Jordan they're an extraordinary group and are gaining ground. Jordan lets him know he's simply utilized her to get what he needs, and presently the Newmans are creeping all over them. Ian faults her. She's been imprudent. Scratch snagged Sharon's polluted medications, and presently there's a police examination. It's reprehensible. Top goes to Sharon and Jordan says he needed to get rid of her. I did precisely that. Ian needed her dead, yet she isn't. Is it true that she is? At Ruby Lights, Claire and Tessa encourage Mariah to accept that Sharon will get back home. Claire reminds her Ian might be awful, however he has no power any longer. Nikki enlightened her regarding his past. He was halted previously and will be halted in the future. She muses that he and her Auntie Jordan are so much similar. She doesn't have the foggiest idea what she'd do in the event that she needed to encounter her again, as Mariah needed to with Ian. Mariah says it took the breath out of her. Claire enlightens them regarding hearing the lady requesting Jordan's beverage prior. What are the chances of somebody requesting something so unmistakable? She was so gone crazy she called the jail, and they guaranteed her she was as yet secured. Mariah's happy. They don't require two crackpots going here and there around town. Claire lets Mariah and Tessa know that assuming Jordan got out, she doesn't have the foggiest idea what she'd do. They go over her being condemned forever. Mariah announces that they need to get Sharon home free from any potential harm, and afterward they can manage getting Ian out of their lives. In the inn room, Ian lets Jordan know that everything relies upon Sharon's body being found, Phyllis being outlined, and Mariah looking for solace in his arms. Pounding his clenched hand on the table, Ian requests reality with regards to what occurred with Sharon. Jordan won't be barbecued like some gopher. Ian gripes that Sharon wasn't even in the vehicle, he heard possibility conversing with another cop. What on earth did you do with Sharon? In the Jazz Relax, Chelsea lets Victoria know that Connor believes her should move in with Adam on the farm. She needs to show up for him. Victoria's dazzled with how he's taken care of his OCD up to this point. Chelsea couldn't be prouder. Victoria can't tell her the amount she respects her, and Adam besides. Assuming Johnny or Katie were confronting something to that effect, she doesn't have any idea what she'd do. Chelsea is certain she'd know precisely very thing to do. Victoria trusts she'll consider moving for Connor's emotional well-being. She's a decent impact on Adam, who could utilize every one of the great powers he can get. Chelsea doesn't know she's prepared to focus on living under a similar rooftop as him once more. Victoria says she'd commit to Connor. Chelsea says Adam doesn't see the distinction. At Society, Chance settles on a decision and afterward tells Scratch he realizes he's worried about Ian focusing on his family, however he was there when Sharon disappeared. Summer concedes that is difficult to make sense of. Scratch contemplates whether he followed her and got to her. He reviews that Ian asked Tessa for a booking for 2 on New Year's. Imagine a scenario in which he's not working alone. Scratch happens about requiring signs. He requests that late spring keep Phyllis in her path meanwhile. Summer says she's committed to ease off of Sharon now. It's a fresh new goal or something to that effect. She said they need to disregard their issues with Sharon and continue on with their personal business. She's certain karma will kick in. Scratch feigns exacerbation. Summer lets her dad know that his hypothesis that Sharon wasn't in the vehicle ought to give him some solace. Scratch stresses somebody is keeping her prisoner and allowing them to believe she's dead. What might be the rationale and who might accomplish something so outrageous? In the inn room, Jordan lets Ian know that she put Sharon alone someplace safe. She won't ever get away. Ian can't comprehend what she's reasoning. Jordan has needs as well, and in the event that they're not dealt with, she'll deal with them herself. They quibble as Ian tells her she's simply made another remaining detail. Jordan won't represent him disparaging her. One individual's last detail could be someone else's insurance contract, particularly now that their organization is finished. Ian warbles about keeping her warm around evening time, yet she gets her things to leave. He cautions that walking out on him wouldn't be insightful. As a priest, he can't learn about the homicide of a young lady and keep quiet, particularly when he knows who the executioner is. That's what Jordan murmurs, assuming he uncovered her as Heather's killer. She'll let the police know where Sharon is, and each smidgen of proof will put him not too far off. Ian cautions on the off chance that she leaves, there's no approaching back. Jordan lets him know best of luck and to have a pleasant life, for eternity. She leaves and Ian hollers in dissatisfaction. At dark red lights, Claire strolls inside from the porch as Jordan's requesting once more. She inquires, "Jordan?" Jordan takes off with Claire behind her. Alone in the Jazz Relax, Chelsea takes a gander at a photograph of her, Adam, and Connor and moans. She calls him and inquires as to whether they can meet. She's settled on a conclusion about moving to the farm. At Society, Chance is terrified to hear that Scratch went to stand up to Ian at his in-room. Scratch needed to look at him without flinching and request replies. He denied it, obviously. Chance surrenders. He's certain Scratch didn't compromise him. He cautions that he wants to allow the experts to deal with this. Summer stresses he's working with somebody, however wounded as he may be. Scratch is persuaded of it. Setting himself in a public spot at the time Sharon disappeared may simply be one gigantic confusion. In the sewer, Sharon tastes her water and pulls on the chain. She wishes there was something she could utilize, some exit from there. Recognizing a dark line, she battles to arrive at it. In the parquet, Claire finds Jordan, who removes her glasses and faces her. "Hi, Cat." Claire gawps, "My God, it is you."